Welcome back to the Intersect Podcast, where we try and change your outlook on mental health. Let this be the big fat light to your morning. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Drop us a like, a comment, a subscribe to show us that your mental health is doing okay. There's not one way, there's multiple, guys. Now on to the episode.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to the Intersect Podcast. We have a very, very special guest. My name's Thomas, and this is Liv.
Hello.
Hey, Liv. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just want to start off the episode by saying, how is your mental health?
Oof. It's been a little rough lately.
Has it been rough? Why have you been rough?
Yeah. I think this whole year has been very up and down with mental health.
Yeah.
I think I went into the year, it was pretty bad. Kind of got a little bit better, and then it kind of just comes and goes in waves. I just started contraception as well. It's safe out in these streets.
Okay. Yeah.
About time.
Yeah. Oh, and we also have my amazing wife behind the camera there. Sorry, my boo. I didn't realise that. I missed you. Is the contraception changing anything?
Yeah, it's a new one that I've never tried before. And
Is it the rod or a pill?
No, it's actually a ring that you...
You looked at your fingers.
Oh.
It's a ring.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Really? So can you take it out?
Yep. So
Every
basically
3
the way it
weeks.
works is TMI for everybody listening. You put it inside yourself and then you...
I was like, well, what do you mean on the ring? You just chuck it on your-
I saw you instantly look at her
Yeah.
fingers.
Sorry. Yeah, go.
So yeah, you put it inside and then you leave it there for 3 weeks. You don't worry about it. And then 3 weeks runs up, you take it out. You either
Oh, so it's only for 3 weeks?
have a period or
That's what?
you put another one in.
Oh.
If you put another one straight in, you don't get your
Yeah.
period. It just
It's basically
continues.
like the
It's
pill
the
in a way.
pill.
Like if you skip the sugar pills, then you don't obviously bleed.
Do
but
you
then,
remember like how a pill, it has like all white pills and then it's got like 5 or 7 red pills?
So normally I'm surrounded by males. This is the first episode where it's a female and 2 females. So
So those
You're gonna
red
get a lesson
pills,
today.
So all the white pills, so it's essentially the same as what the ring's doing, right? So all of those white pills have hormones in it. That creates a balanced hormone. It creates routine in your cycle. And then you take the red pills, they are sugar pills. That's literally all it is. There's nothing. There's no hormones in it. That's it. And that hormone crash creates you to have a period.
yeah. So essentially, the way that I was described birth control is your body is tricked into thinking that you're pregnant for that time that you're taking the hormone pills, and then you don't take anything, then you just have a withdrawal bleed.
So it's the same. So it
The ring is basically the exact same.
So
Yeah.
it makes your body think that you're pregnant, and then when you
Yeah.
take it out, chuck a new one in. It's
It's
the same.
administering those hormones
Yeah.
to
Am I
balance
using a
everything
hook?
out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so has that affected your mental health?
Yeah, majorly.
Because it does do that.
Yeah.
to a lot, hey?
I think having like 2 years of not being on anything, and then like actually probably longer than that, probably like 2.5 years of not being on anything, and then going back onto birth control,
Yeah.
like it's a massive change for your body. So
Right.
for me, like mentally, like my moods have been low, my like body image has been really bad, and
Yeah.
my body probably hasn't even changed.
Yeah.
The way I look at myself, I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's also
That
the way
doesn't
you
look right.
feel too. Like
I feel heavier. I feel, as Michaela called it, frumpy. I like
Fluffy.
Fluffy is
but as
how
I was saying to you the other day, though, from an outsider's point of view, you look exactly the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you've changed.
You
Yeah.
don't look frumpy. You don't look like swollen. You don't look like you're holding anything. It's simply just the way. And like you said, 2.5 years of your own cycle and your own hormones, which have been out of whack.
Crazy.
All of a sudden, your body's now trying to get used to
Yeah.
a whole new regime, a whole new routine, a whole new level of hormones. Because these level of hormones could be completely different to what your natural hormones are like.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And I think as well, like I should have probably synced it up with my normal cycle, and I didn't. I was just like, I think I got almost like weirdly enough excited to be back on birth control because I was like, oh, something new. I've never tried this before. I want to
Yeah.
see what it's like. So I just,
and being the first
Straight.
round too, it probably wasn't quite potent enough to
yeah.
overrule your natural hormones. So your body's like, I should be on a
I'll
period
just
right
step out
now.
of this one. This is I don't know nothing
Yeah.
about this.
Your body should be like, I should be bleeding. I should be on my period right now. But then those hormones that you're putting into your body are saying, we're not doing that. So
Yeah.
that's why they
Yeah.
say you got to give things minimum 3 to 6 months to try, to see, let them level out, let them work, let your
Yeah.
body adjust.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
So mental health is a bit up and down.
Yeah, I had like 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half where I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go for walks. I didn't really.
Yeah.
That's a lie. I did go for walks, but they were like very late at night, like casual walks,
Yeah.
like not really trying to get steps in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I basically just wanted to bed rot away from the world.
So
I didn't-
being on contraception and now going back into the gym, has it helped?
Not really. I feel like my moods have been a lot better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I obviously currently don't have it in. So for me, like it's been better
Oh,
for
you
me.
don't have it in?
No. So for me, like I feel mentally better because I feel like my hormones are balancing out again.
Yeah.
But like when I was in the gym, I think having all the mirrors around, like I understand now when people say like I get anxiety going into the gym because of all the mirrors and I don't like looking at myself. Like that's where I'm at now at the moment. Like I don't like looking at
Yeah.
myself. So
It looked like you were going to cry in the gym today. And I just knew something. I just knew something was off. I knew something was off.
Yeah,
And that's what I said. You just weren't all there.
Yeah. I've also had a very tough day. So I think mentally I'm already not here. And then
Well, let's dive into that. What happened?
there's a lot of changes happening at work and it's a lot for everybody to comprehend. And I think like we're all moving into new roles, and for me, like I've just moved into my first management role, so I'm trying to get my head around that.
Up there, big girl. Damn, that's fire.
Yes, yep.
Congratulations, big
Thank
managers
you.
thing.
I mean, it wasn't really something that I asked for, but I think like everybody had gassed myself up a little bit here. Everybody had talked highly of me. So then the new manager that took over our team was like, it was pretty much a no-brainer for me.
So you're just him.
I'm just him.
You're just Himothy
The
Eubank.
goat.
That's it. Yeah.
Go.
Damn. Okay. so your mental health is doing all right now that it's not in?
It's doing better, but it goes
it's-
back in
it's gonna
tomorrow.
crash.
So
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You
Second
never
time
know.
around,
It might be better this time around.
Yeah.
You don't know. You've
I'm
got to give
hoping-
it time.
I'm praying to the Lord above that.
And at least
Yeah.
you kind of know what to expect. So if you like in 2 days' time, you're like, I feel like shit. You're like, that's why.
It was actually pretty crazy though to be completely fine one day and then 2 days later be like, I hate the way I look. I don't want to be here. I like it.
crazy.
It was a whole mind change. When 2 days ago I thought I looked great and I was like, I'm doing so good. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I've put on a couple of kilos, but like I look good. And then literally 2 days later,
Yeah.
I was like, I hate the way I look. I need to cut again. And then I was like, I don't want to
Just
be.
getting in your own head.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty bad.
Well, so talking about the gym then, what made you start the gym? What drove you into
Initially?
Yeah.
Weight. Like,
So the way that you looked?
yeah, that was a major thing for me. I was also in a relationship at the time. So for me, it wasn't so much like how I saw myself, but it was like how he saw me. And
So you wanted to change for someone else?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Like there was never any like push to like for me to go to the gym, for me to get fit, for me to look different. It was just how I saw myself and then how he would see me. And I was like, I don't like the thought of that. So
And did that help the relationship?
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm a strong believer on you should change for you, no one else. So Yeah, that it sucks that it didn't. So what happened in the relationship, if you don't mind? If you is that something you want to dig into?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? So obviously you going to the gym to try and make your relationship
Yeah.
better.
So for me, he worked a FIFO position, so he didn't also have a set roster. So it was very hard for us, I think, because it wasn't like a set 2-in-1 roster where I knew he was going to be gone for 2 weeks and then come back for a week. Like some swings he'd be gone for 5 weeks, some weeks he'd be gone for 3 weeks, some weeks he'd be gone for 2.
So it wasn't like a scheduled like 2-in-1 or
and then when
1-in-1.
he'd come home as well, like it would be because it was split between Perth and Geraldton. Because they did live in Perth at the time when all this was happening, it would be like 2 days in Perth, a few days in Geraldton. Then he would come back for a day, but then he would go back to work the next day. So there was like very limited time for us to be together. And I think that also affected my mental health a lot because I was also in Perth by myself. So I was like already struggling with the fact that I wasn't really seeing my partner a lot. And then to like top it off and make it worse, I was in a new job. I was in a completely new environment. I was living with completely new people. I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. And I also, fun fact, lost my license. So
Damn, pissy driving.
Dickhead.
Wait, was it pissy driving?
no,
Speeding.
it was
Are you doing drifties?
speeding.
You're doing
She still
drifties.
does. She still does. She's a fucking maniac.
All right, now you need to fucking come
Nah,
off that
listen
foot
here.
a little bit. Fucking hell, doing drifties
We
everywhere.
were talking
Yeah.
about people and irresponsible driving the other day, and she was like, I'm not one to talk. I drift around fucking roundabouts.
Damn.
Michaela, you're putting me on blast right now.
You're welcome.
No, I will. Yeah, I was a little lead foot and
Was or is?
Is.
still is.
Is,
Keyword.
Still
is.
retired.
It was going to turn off.
But yes.
Yeah, okay.
Purple light.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, to top it off, I didn't have a license. I lost my license for 6 months. So Michaela,
That sucks, man.
it really
Sucks
did.
to suck.
Because you know what made it even worse? It was fucking winter.
Oh, I hate that for you, but also karma.
It makes me laugh because there was so many days where walked in the rain, got drenched, but I was like thinking to myself, this is karma.
I mean,
It's
and
okay.
cardio.
Got those steps in.
Got those steps in, Queen.
That's the start of the gym story.
Yeah, damn.
Oh, that's
Cool.
funny.
So, yeah. So what? Keep going on with the.
Oh, yes. So
Sorry.
going back to that, sidetracked.
Yeah, we got a little bit of sidetracked.
Yeah, so lost my license, didn't have any friends or family, in a new environment. My partner was working away heaps. So my mental health just took like an all-time low for me.
Like everything changed and you didn't like it?
All-time low to the point where I was like, what is the point in life? Like it was one of those moments for me. And then like not to get into it like specifics, but like if there was ever any arguments or whatever, some arguments would get a bit nasty as they do. And then it would start the whole like, I'm just a burden. Nobody wants me here.
Yeah.
Why am I even here? I never obviously did anything to that extent, but it was always playing on my mind constantly of like, there's like no point in being here if I'm not happy and nobody else is happy around
This
me.
is all your life consists of is just
Pretty much.
arguments and not seeing each other and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that was like a major one for me. And then when I think 3 months into losing my license, that's when the whole like I was looking at myself and I was like peak of like almost 90 kilos. And for me, like being like 5'2", that's crazy that you side-eyed like that. Wow. Anyways.
No side eye here.
As he stares at the camera. So for me, like that was, you could see it all over. You could see it in my face. Like
That's a small
anything-
bitch. Sorry, I need to get
Wow. All right, end of episode.
I will not be back.
Yeah. There will not be a part 2 to this episode.
I got to make you comfortable somehow, and the only way I can do it is just chip you out.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the story again.
So 4'4", and
4 foot nothing,
yeah,
basically, at
So
this
you-
point.
90 kilos, 4'4". Yeah,
Yeah. She was a bowling
Yeah.
ball.
crazy.
It was really bad.
Strike.
Yeah. So, oh my God, that almost went straight over my head.
Yeah. So you're looking at yourself.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
just felt like horrible looking
Yeah.
at myself.
As
like,
you do though, like I mean, I remember how I felt when I was 96. Not as much as like I wasn't looking at myself going ill. I was just kind of like content with the way that I looked. I didn't even really like think about like I always
Yeah.
had the I want to get lean, I want to do this, I want to do that, like any normal person does. But it was just like I never really looked at myself and thought that until I started going to the gym. And then it was
Yeah.
like you see those little small progress things, and you go, damn, this is fucking sick.
I think it was hard as well being in Perth because you've got all of like the influencers that
big
you're
gyms.
like surrounded by. So
So did you start in Perth?
I did,
So
yes.
How was that intimidating to go? And did you go by yourself?
Yes, I did. So I started working out, like I guess like working out in a way, like very broad working out at home when I didn't have a license. And then once I got my license back, I set myself a goal of if I can do this for 3 months without my license, just like consistently walking, doing home workouts, like all that sort of stuff, then I would sign up to a gym as soon as I got my license back.
Yeah.
Hit that goal. And then as soon as I literally got my license back, first thing I did was straight away go to the gym and sign up.
Yeah.
So I ended up signing up to Right Aware. Only reason I signed up there is because they were so cheap. They were like
They're like, I think when I went there for the day pass, it was like $9 or something for the day.
probably something like that. I think now they're like 15 a day, which is still
Still
cheaper
cheap,
than
yeah.
most gyms. But to like pay weekly, it was like $8 a week. And I was like, broke bitch in Perth, this is
Yeah.
perfect for me.
That's that's probably one of the biggest influencer gyms.
Yeah.
There.
Which
So
I didn't do any research on it. I just had a couple of
nice gym,
guys.
though.
It is very nice inside. I've been to all 3 of their gyms, and I think Malaga, the one that I used to go to, is definitely the nicest out of
I
all of
thought
them.
they only had 2. I knew
No,
there was
they've
one
got
in-
3 now. They've got Malaga, Wanneroo, and Midvale.
Midvale, that's the one that I went to.
It's the one
Yeah.
near Dad's.
Midvale.
Midvale's the one near Dad's.
Yeah.
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 They're
Yeah,
all
right.
very nice gyms. They are
They
all
are.
very clean gyms
Even still,
as well.
like I went into Midvale right away. That was fairly new when I went there, and it was like, even though it was like influencer, like that's how you got the vibe. Everyone was still nice.
Yeah.
Like you didn't really get side eyed. You
I
didn't
think
really
I
get looked
would
at.
Shit my pants and throw up at the same
Shit my
time.
pants.
At the same time walking in there. That gives me so much anxiety just thinking
Oh,
about
actually no.
it.
And I think me and Tony, shout out big boy Tony. We went to what did you say, Malaga?
Malaga.
I think we went to that one as well.
Malaga is the one that gives me the biggest influencer, bodybuilder vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I think because it's the biggest gym out of all 3 of them, and I feel like it's pretty central as well
Was
for
that
a
the
lot
first
of...
one as well?
I think so.
I think it
Yeah.
might
Big
have
gym.
been.
Big
Yeah.
gym.
So it's probably got like the original OG people
Yeah.
in there. from
Shit
the
car
beginning.
parking. They need to change
Yeah,
that.
it was like down a little side alley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whack.
When
like
you'd go...
Isn't it right
Malaga.
next to? Isn't it right next to like a
Markets?
yeah.
Yep.
That's
It's
where.
across from where we did
yeah.
the escape rooms.
Yeah. That's where Tony forced a Guinness down my throat.
That's right.
Whoa.
I do remember.
Sorry,
that.
big man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guinness. Guinness.
No
Yuck.
thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the only reason I signed up there was because it was cheap, first of all, and it was great. The photos looked amazing as well, like of the actual gym. And then there was also 2 other guys that I worked with that went to Right Aware, and they said they loved it. Like it was so good. Like I think they started at Revo, and then they ended up moving to Right Aware.
Is Revo used to be Revolutions?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
So going to the gym as a female by yourself, you said?
Yeah. Terrifying. Absolutely
let's
hated it.
Dive into that.
I
feel like a lot of females that watch this will get some insight on.
Yeah. I think as well being, again, the whole influencer bodybuilder vibes that I got from walking in there, the people at the front desk, lovely. Greatest guys ever. Like they were so nice, and they didn't like I watched the episode where you guys were talking about Snap and how you felt like judged walking in there. Like you don't feel judged by these guys at all. Like they just consider you to be somebody else that's just working out in the gym. Like everybody goes for their own reasons.
Yeah.
And didn't feel judged at all when I walked in there by them. And I don't think I so much felt judged walking in. I think I more just felt very intimidated by everybody else that was around because I went at like peak
time, like after work, 5 to 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And there was like multiple people standing around like machines waiting, like because they were obviously in their own little like groups.
Yeah.
So
how did you overcome that intimidation with all the influencer vibes and all that type of stuff?
If I'm being honest, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going and being consistent with it, and you just learn to get comfortable.
Did you get many looks being a female? Because I feel like that's a very good question.
I think I felt like people were watching me and people were looking, but in reality, they're not. Nobody cares. Like they're doing their own thing. Some of them are there, like some of them are couples there. Some of them are best mates working out. Some are there fighting their own demons. Like I think like as much as I thought everyone was watching me and I felt like nervous about that, nobody cared.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite funny because there would be like a few times where on the leg press, because as we've established, I'm like 4 foot nothing.
Yeah.
Some people would set it on the highest setting and I couldn't get it off. So there'd be some times where I would have to ask somebody like, hey, can you just drop it down a setting for me? And there was a couple of times where like I got a couple of weird looks like from guys.
Because you asked them?
Because I asked for help, being, I think, a female. And I wasn't just sort of like walking up being like, yo, can you help me with this? Like I was kind of like, hi, like I'm sorry, like can you please just help me? So I don't know, sometimes like I would get the odd like, yeah, okay. But it's funny because the ones that were actually really, really nice about it were like the big tough guys.
The big teddy bears. Literally the big
teddy bears.
Yeah.
Like they were like, I think the nicest about it all.
Well, they are, because I mean they've been through, they've started somewhere, they've worked their way up, they've done hundreds of thousands of hours, and they know what it's like to be intimidated.
Yeah.
And then now everyone looking at them, they're like, I'm not going to give you the vibe that I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't say anything to them, they can come across as like being looked at like them in their own head and just like, yep, no, I'm here. But if you go up to them, they're just like, yeah, man, can I have a hand? And they're just like, yeah, fuck, sure thing, my brother.
Exactly.
Which is sick, because it gives you that sense of security that you're not being judged or looked at.
And I think as well, like a big thing with it too is like just having to get the confidence as well to like just ask people little things like, are you using that? Or like, can you help with this? Or just go, babe, just slam the door.
That's right.
It's just like, it's just getting comfortable with having to be uncomfortable in the gym, I think.
Yeah.
Especially in Perth as well, where you know it's going to be, like there's going to be a lot of people there constantly.
Yeah.
No matter what time you go.
Yeah. So, all right. Now that we got a bit of insight of the gym, I want to dive into your story.
Okay.
So I know you did say before that you went through a breakup. You were 99% 90 kilos
Yeah, something
at
like
like
that.
3 foot. And
Wow, we're getting smaller and smaller as we go.
you just gotta get smaller. And then, so what did you go through before? You don't have to go into too much detail because obviously that's personal. But like the lead up, during, and then after with your whole like mental state.
Yeah.
How did you go and what did you go through?
Okay. So strap yourselves in, boys and girls. It's a long story.
I mean, let's go.
Yeah. So
Rolls hanging in.
we
Damn.
bulk. No, you're cutting. Oh.
It's these pants, man. All right, they're too tight around my waist.
We'll blame it on the pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it all probably started around like I think July last year. That was when I decided 100% I was moving back to Geraldton, and I was going to move back to be with my partner at the time. So July last year, we both said, yep, we don't want to be in Perth anymore. We want to move back. So I went to work and started the process of getting a transfer back to Geraldton, which was completely fine. They all supported it 100%. Basically, like my role was pretty universal. You could do it from anywhere. You could do it from home. You could do it from any depot. Like it didn't matter. So that was really good for me. For me, like my mental health was really, really good then because I was like, cool, I'm going to live back with my parents. I'm going to be back with my family. You know, my partner and I are going to see each other more.
Just kind of
it was all like
into,
flowing really, really good. And it made me feel really, really good as well. So I think that was also when I also got the motivation to go to the gym because I was happy about everything, even though I was only going to be in the gym for I think like 3 or 4 months. I was like, this is great. Like I'm in the best mindset. I was also like cutting at the time. Like I was losing weight. I felt really, really good about myself. So then fast forward to December was when I moved back to Geraldton. And that was fine. I did it by myself because I'm a strong, independent woman.
Slay queen. All the strong queens out there. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Did it by myself, which is not a dig at anybody. Like it's just the way it worked out. And then everything was going really, really good. And then it all basically just came crashing down at Christmas time. And then not long after that, my partner and I grew very distant. And then just before my birthday, we ended up splitting. So that took a lot out of me, I think. Like my mental health was horrible. Like I had just upped and moved my life back to Geraldton. Had thought I had all these plans in place for my future. Like I could literally like see my future in front of me. And then it was basically like it all just got ripped away from me and I could do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And that was really, really hard for me to comprehend as well because I was like, how did I go like a month ago being in the best place of my life to now I don't want to be here at all. And
unfortunately things can just change that quickly.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I would never wish that on like my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like going through, I think like heartbreak like that. Like it was pretty rough.
So what, after the breakup, did you, like, how were you feeling mentally? There was a little bit of break. Welcome back to Intersect Podcast. So yeah, you were going over like after the breakup, what you were going through, and you haven't really been a person that has had anxiety.
Yeah. So I've never been somebody to say like I have anxiety or something like that. I don't know. I've just never experienced it in life.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you firsthand, it fucking sucks. I will dive into probably on another episode about anxiety because I firsthand have had anxiety attacks, fucking massive ones, and I've suffered. I don't have it now. I think I've definitely controlled it. I know how to control it, but yeah, it fucking sucks. And
Yeah.
it's almost, I would almost put panic attacks or anxiety attacks down to like being hit with like an adrenaline pen.
Yeah, I think for me, the main thing I probably struggled with a lot was depression.
Yeah.
Like when I think we were like, when the whole like motion of the breakup was happening, like from the start of when I knew it was basically over right through to when it was actually over and done, I was like pretty low. Like I like didn't feel good at all. Like I just wanted to bed rot. I didn't want to face the world.
Yeah.
But I was coming into like the new year, like peak work season for us. So like I basically needed to just tough it out.
Yep.
And the thing that kept going through my mind when I'd have like those mornings where I'd wake up was like my thinking about like what my parents had told me like before, like where they've said like, yeah, you think you've got it tough, but someone probably has it worse. So
Yeah.
I just like, that's what kind of kept me going in a
Yeah.
way, was like not in a bad way, but in the sense of like, it's just a breakup. Like it's not
in reality, you have it good.
Yeah, exactly.
compared
Like
to
it's
other
not like
people.
I'm homeless. It's not like I'm broke. It's
Yeah.
not like, you know, I don't have a
feel
job.
Like that can be a really good mentality to have, but I feel like it could also be a very dismissive and damaging mentality to have, because you go, I could have it worse, and you just suppress
Yeah.
those feelings.
If you can unpack the things that you're going through as you're going through them and still have that mentality, probably best way to do it, because you're
Yeah.
not suppressing the things that you're going through. You're openly talking about them, which unfortunately there's not a real big community for that,
No,
like anywhere,
definitely
which
not.
is why this is a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can even slowly just like unpack the things that you're going through while still having that mentality, you'll be able to, I feel like, get through
Yeah.
a lot.
And I think for me, like my biggest trait that I know that I do is as soon as I start going through something or I start feeling down, I distance myself away from everybody.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to be around people, or I guess like I don't like to talk about things as well. So for me, that's really, really hard to be able to like talk through something and kind of like unpack it and be able to deal with it. Like for me, it's just, I think it's like a, I don't know, maybe like a trigger or something, like where I don't like feeling like a burden to somebody. So I don't want to unpack my issues to them, because then I think to myself, well, they've got their own things that they're going through. They don't need my issues on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's when I just start to kind of keep it to myself and bottle it up. And
Which is everyone's mentality. Well, not everyone's,
Yeah.
but a lot of people's mentality is
Yeah.
you don't want to drop a bomb on someone if they're going through something.
Yeah.
Or you don't know if they're going through something, so you don't want to put more.
yeah. Yeah.
So
I think that's definitely hard for me. That's something that I need to learn
Yeah.
to kind of, I guess, like grow out of in a way.
which is hard, but if you have the right people and the right circle and community, then it is a lot
Yeah.
easier to do, because you know you're in a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after the new year,
I started at Anytime Fitness, signed up to that. That's what I thought was going to keep me going. Like that was my like release outlet for like, all right, I'm having a shit day, but I get to go to the gym and it's going to be great. Yes, it's a new gym. Yes, it's new people. It's in a small town. I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much as Perth. Yeah, like so I wanted to use that as like a positive outlet
Like a
for
coping.
me. Yeah, like a coping mechanism. Because in Perth, that's what I used it for as well.
Yep.
It was like coping when things kind of got tough. It was like, but I
Did
need
it-
to go to the gym.
did it help to start off with?
It did.
Yep.
It definitely did. And then I think it just got to, I think while it was going through the process of like not actually being broken up, but
Yeah,
like,
it's like
that
in that
limbo mode, like it helped a lot.
awkward middle stage.
Yeah. But then once the breakup had actually happened, I got to the point where I was like, I have no friends and I am going to a gym that I don't even like and I can't leave because I've just locked into a contract with them, which was really shit. And I was like, and then to top it all off, like my partner just split with me. So like my whole future just got ripped away from me. So I was literally, I think, at probably one of the lowest points I've ever been in my life. I think I went up to Regan and JP and I asked, I think JP was the one that was like, had just finished his set. And I just said, oh, hey, can you like lift the bar up off the ground for me? Like I can't lift it up. And he's like, oh yeah, no worries. And Regan, I think, I can't remember the exact conversation, but I had said to him like, yeah, I was literally on the verge of a mental breakdown. Like I was at the lowest. And he's like, wow, I wouldn't have even picked it. You looked perfectly fine. And I said, yeah, it just goes to show like
the poker face that people can have, even though
you don't realize what people are going through.
So what made the gym better in your eyes? Like, was it the consistency or was it the like going out of your comfort zone in a new gym and asking people to help?
No, that made me feel like shit that day because so funny.
Knowing JP probably gave you a shit cunt look.
Yeah. JP, I hope you feel like shit.
He doesn't. He don't care.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, literally.
He's really going to listen to this going, yeah,
yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Remember it.
Woman hater. No.
JP's going to come on the fucking podcast just to have this like thing about him. But he's just going to be a big softie on you. I know it. I know it.
It's all an act.
It's all an act. That interaction made me feel like absolute shit. I think it was because I had like kind of gotten used to like from Perth, like asking people for help and then being nice about it. Then I met this bloke and it was literally just a, yeah, no worries. And then straight faced, walked up to the bar, picked it up, and I was like, thank you. And he's like, yeah, and just walked off.
That's not even a new person meeting. He did that to me like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a hello today. So
that's just JP.
Like as soon as I walk in the gym and JP's there, he's like, yeah, what's up, fuckface? Yeah. And I'm like, so in. But it's like, if he was to be nice, I'd be like, what the fuck what's wrong?
Something's off.
Yeah, for sure.
So that I think actually made me feel worse. And it made me, I just wanted to leave. I wanted to unrack the weights, clean it down and just leave. I wanted to go. I didn't want to be there anymore. I felt like the biggest dick. And then I honestly probably did leave after that. I can't remember. This was like 6 months ago or whatever. And then, I just kept getting lower and lower and lower. And I got to the point where I didn't even want to be in the gym. I think I was halfway through a workout and I was like, nah, I don't want to come anymore. I'm just going to cancel the contract. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of chill and do my own thing. And then lo and behold, Thomas Stafford sent me a
don't throw my
message.
last name.
You should beep that. Thomas, beep.
Well, it's in the fucking description of the thing. So
Put you on blast. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I've got this random message and it was like, man, I can't even remember what you said, but
You didn't get a random message. You came on to me first.
oh, we're going back to this story.
Well, you came on to me first. You wanted some. Hey, you got some. So what's up? What happened was it was the same thing as what you did to JP and Regan.
And I was so scared. I was petrified.
And me and Brody were working out. We were on the pec deck machine. And you came up and you asked us. And I was like, yeah, of course, no worries.
Yeah.
Probably that voice
so much
too.
nicer than JP.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, of course, no worries. Yeah.
Brody just like watched me and was like,
But he's just like, what the fuck is happening?
He's like, yeah, staff being staff, of course it is. And I just fucking like came over and and then I think we spoke for a little bit because if someone's gonna ask me for help, I'm gonna you know, try and make the situation a little bit like calmer, because the worst thing is to go up to someone, shitting your pants, and then, you know, fucking them being an asshole.
Yeah.
And that's not like JP being an asshole. That's just the way JP is, because majority of the time he's in his
Look, at least
zone.
he still helped.
Yeah,
This is
that's
true.
right. And
He could
he
have
didn't
said
say no.
fuck off.
So
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
but yeah, I think we just yarned, and then I got the vibe that you were like, I saw you come in a few times, and it was like you were there by yourself, and
Had no friends.
after that conversation, I was just like, damn, she's kind of cool. And then you said, well, if you ever like working alone and you want a fucking gym partner, then like hit me up. So I found you, and
Yeah.
I was like, yo, well, like whenever you're free. And then the next day I went in and you were doing legs. And I was like, yo, Liv's here. All right, cool. I'll just go over there.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I watched you out of the corner of my eye, and all that was going through my head was, please don't come up to me. Please don't come up to me. Please don't come up to me. And you just kept walking towards me.
You could have been like, stop, bitch, fuck off.
I wanted to so bad. And I was like, maybe if I just keep working out and I don't
We'll just
acknowledge
swerve and
him,
go somewhere else.
he goes somewhere else and we'll just...
Well, was it a bad thing that I came up to you?
No. It was actually really, really good. It's like obviously been a great thing in the long run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so...
So nervy.
Yeah.
But I think because I willed the confidence of 1,000 men, that made it a lot easier.
Yeah. And you basically just came up to me like you were like an old mate. You were like, yo, are we doing legs today? I was like, yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Leave me alone.
Literally.
Fuck off, baldy.
Stranger danger. Get out of here.
Where's the yellow house? I need to go over there and fucking...
Yeah. Yeah.
Enough of the gym. What were some of the things that helped you get through? I know you said what your mum and dad said, but were there any little things that helped you get through the day-to-day of being depressed after everything?
Wow. When you say it like that, it sounds so bad.
Why?
I don't know. I think because I also never really, fully acknowledged that I was probably depressed in that time. So like
think
hearing
a
you
lot-
say
yeah.
it is...
A lot of people don't think what they're going through is like depression. They don't think about it like that because they're so down. You know, nothing really means anything.
Yeah.
I am
That-
so like fully self-aware when it comes to that though. Like I will wake up and be like, I am depressed. Like I know
Depressed.
where I am. You know, like that filter in SpongeBob.
Depression.
Yeah. Depression. Impose.
Today's theme, anxiety.
Well, we're definitely bringing light to mental health. There's a little bit of fucking rainbows and depression.
But yeah, no, I don't think I ever it's crazy hearing, talking about it and hearing about it because it's like, I don't think I ever had those moments where I woke up and was like, yep, I'm depressed today.
Yeah.
Or I woke up and I was like, oh, yep, gotta go and, push my way through my day or whatever.
Yeah.
It felt like I honestly was just like, I'd roll over, I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up, I'd get up and I'd go about my day. It didn't honestly feel
It's just
like
monotonous.
Yeah. It just felt like a routine. It just felt like a routine of getting up, getting dressed, go to work, go to the gym, go home, eat, sleep.
Yeah.
That was what it felt like to me. So for me, it was just normal everyday feelings,
Yeah.
I guess.
So then looking back onto it now,
Oh, she was depressed.
yeah.
She was
So was
in a
there...
shell of depression. You need to add the effect as well.
with the
That's gonna be a
sparkle
clip.
sounds.
Oh, I'm gonna make that a clip. Depression. Fucking dickhead. So yeah, was there anything that helped during?
Other than the gym.
Just being busy at work, trying to keep my mind occupied with
So kind of burying yourself into
basically
your work.
but not in the way of an unhealthy amount where I was staying so late at work and I all that sort of stuff. I was still doing my normal 8 to 4, 9 to 5 job. I was getting my stuff done. I was talking to people. Like, I'm sure if you were to ever ask anybody that I worked with during that time, like, hey, did you know Olivia was going through this, or did you know that she was like on the verge of a breakdown? They would have said no, because I was perfectly fine. I was in the way of like, I masked it so well that you wouldn't have probably picked up on it. Unless I told you, like openly told you, yeah, I'm not feeling good today. You wouldn't have probably ever picked up on it. So.
Well, if anyone listening, watching is going through something like that where you're putting on a poker face, reach out to someone. If it's a friend, family member,
100%.
anything, just even, you don't even need to just go all out and just drop bombs on people. Like, just go to someone and talk slightly. Like a small thing, drop like a small little inkling, and then just build up from there, like building blocks.
Like, I've had moments where, like, it was, just to quickly go back to the breakup a little bit, when it actually finally happened that day, I was standing in my bathroom, I got the text, and I was just like, okay, like, cool. It's done now.
You probably knew that it was coming for so long.
I did,
too, though.
yeah. It was a while, and then I stood in my bathroom, I think, for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, just stared at it, didn't know how to comprehend it.
Were you just like butt ass naked? Because I feel like the most humiliating
It was
thing.
like 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Oh, okay, so you weren't. I feel like if I was to stand in the bathroom, get a text message, hey, we're over, and if my winky's out, I'd try.
No, it wasn't a case of like it just came out of the blue. Like, I prompted the message.
Oh yeah.
To get
it. Right. Okay.
To basically end it.
Yeah.
And I think I went into like maybe like a mini state of shock, and as I was walking out of my bathroom, I called one of my best mates who lives in Brisbane. And she answers the phone and she's like, hello. And I was like, we just broke up. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh my God, how are you feeling? Waterworks instantly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until someone asked me like, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you coping with it? Or what's happened? Yeah.
And you saying like you prompted that message, you probably knew what the answer was. So I guess
100%.
you probably weren't quite shocked by the answer as such, but then actually someone saying, are you okay? And actually having a moment to process like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's triggered the actual emotions.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting to go through it, because like to send the message, get the text like 15 minutes later, not feel anything, then feel everything was like in the span of
like a wall
half
of
an
emotions.
hour. Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Just fucking hitting you in the jaw like a Mike Tyson uppercut.
Yeah.
Shit sucks.
It's exactly
And
how it felt.
I'm sorry that you went through that, because
It's okay.
I know what it's like to go through breakups. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But how are you doing now? Are you good?
Yeah. So
You're
much
a lot
better. Mentally so much better.
Yeah.
And it's like so many different things. It's work, it's friends, it's gym, home life, family, all that sort of stuff.
Everything's just
Everything's,
Good.
Obviously, contraception is,
Yeah.
It's a
Putting
work
its little-
in progress.
yes.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're not going to dump on it now. Give your body time.
Just start dumping on it. Yeah, it's fucking shit, man.
Should I try contraception?
100%.
Do you know
I wonder if I
when
put one of those rings up my ass. If I
Whoa.
when they
that'll be a beep.
Do you know
Love
when
it.
they started the trial for like a male contraception, the like majority of the men dropped out of the trial because they couldn't handle the side effects of the medication.
Isn't the main male contraception is getting your nuts cut off, isn't it?
Whoa,
Lord
sir.
Jesus. It is not. No, he says it. He knows exactly what a vasectomy is. He says it for people.
It's just funny, okay?
He wants people to be like, oh my God.
I was
do you really
genuinely
not know?
concerned for you in a
No,
way of
he
like,
knows.
how dumb are you?
No, I know. He does it on purpose because he wants that
Tony,
reaction.
Tony's not like that one. He's gonna be in his car just going, yeah, fucking stupid.
Yes,
But no,
that is
it's
predominantly the
getting your-
only.
It's getting your shit cut.
Yeah, that is predominantly the only way of a male contraception.
Got chopped.
I'm pretty sure I read the other day actually that they have retrialed a male contraceptive pill and
Interesting. Do you hear that, men?
it's in trials
Help
now.
us women out.
Don't know.
I'm gonna get flagged because you're drinking water and ice.
Water and ice.
I have to
Water.
put like a blur thing over that.
Oh,
You
Piss
didn't.
head.
You didn't tell me I couldn't drink.
That's okay.
You offered it to me, even though it's my drink.
I didn't. I said you want an energy drink. You're like, this is mine. And everyone knows that if you leave a drink here after a night out, that is now my property.
24 hours. You have 24 hours to pick it up.
That's been in there for.
I should have turned around and come straight back.
That's been in my fridge since August. Yeah, that's mine. So $5.
I'm pretty sure Paige left one in mine from like January. There's still a can in our fridge.
Well, we're getting a little bit sidetracked, but
Yes, 100%.
I think that concludes the episode. Unless you have anything else that you want to ask me, or if you want to add.
How are you?
I'm good. My mental health has been a little bit whack the last few days because I'm overthinking. And I'm overthinking shit that I shouldn't be overthinking, and I'm almost convincing myself that you heard it in the gym. Fuck you.
Since we're talking about mental
Damn, how
health,
the tables have turned.
and I've had to spill my guts on my mental health.
Yeah, I'm not feeling overwhelmed with this, but it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with anyone else. I'm getting in my own head because I think I'm doing everything, which is it's what I wanted, but I think I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just overthinking shit. I feel like my head's just trying to convince me to stop this because it's too hard. I don't really have like anyone to call and ask advice from, or how I should be going, or like this and that. And the feedback that we're getting is amazing, regardless of if it's good or not. It gives me a sense of direction to lead like from there and know what I need to change and what I need to do and what I need to do there. But yeah, I'm just overthinking a lot. But
It's all a part of the journey.
no, thank you guys for watching and tuning into the Intersect Podcast. Make sure you drop us a like, comment, a follow. It's muchly appreciated. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to bring people like Liv on and talk about mental health and let her unpack some of the stuff that she's been dealing with. And hopefully it helps you guys. And you guys, if anyone's going through something similar, yeah, hopefully this helps. So if you want to send in your stories, anything, other the stuff that you've been through, funny stories, videos, if you have content for us to react to, just send it to intersect.pod24@hotmail.com, or follow us on Instagram, Intersect Pod, TikTok, Instagram Pod, all that type of stuff. So thank you. Thanks, guys. Edzy Wedzy, I miss you. And Tony, I miss you.
Peace out, homies.